Pisces.
Hey everyone, before we start today, I'd just like to address a question that I get a lot in my email, and it will save me a lot of time here if I can collectively address it here to you. So the question I get is whether I give private readings or not, and yes I do. I do it all the time. You will find it here on the sidebar. You just want to click on it. It will take you directly to the website where you can find out more information on the various readings that are available to you, both on the astrological site as well as the psychic readings and what you can expect from those. Alright, so let's get on with it and see what November has in store for you this month. Hello Pisces, this is your November forecast for 2014, and this month here is really focused in on expanding your higher consciousness or getting news out to the world at large. The ninth house is lit up, and we have the Sun, Venus, and Saturn in this area. So it's like you've been working for a long time now to get to a point where you can expand or reach out with those things you're passionate about, that you love to do. Venus here is your creativity, and it's wanting to be expressed to a larger arena, especially because it's the 9th and the 11th house, which is pretty much lighting up here. And the 11th house has to do with groups, organizations, your social network, and so forth. So I'm seeing a lot of love coming in here now that you're going to be giving out, because Mars is in that 11th house for hopes, dreams, wishes, groups and organizations, and so forth. So your energy is going to be very, shall I say, point specific, going towards wanting to, shall I say, reach for maybe new groups to express your talents to. And it's going to be powerful because not only is Mars energetic, you know, it's your drive, your ambitions, your goals, but it's in the same area where Pluto is for transformation, new beginnings. So we're going to see a little bit later in the month when we get down there towards November 10th, both Mars and Pluto are going to be hooking up here in a conjunction. A conjunction means when two planets meet at the same spot, the same degree on the night sky, they become infused. So Mars is dynamite, Pluto is nuclear. Put these two together, we have a powerful combustion taking place in this area of social networks or groups that you can affiliate with that can really start up new things. Now, Mars takes 2 years to circle your chart once. So it was here 2 years ago. You want to ask yourself what took place. It might give you a little insight so you know what you can expect now. But here, just the last couple of months here, Mars has been wrapping up that 2-year journey. So you might have felt that, okay, you're ready, or also preparing yourself because of a need for change. Mars is always what pushes us forwards, and we're always evolving, right? So you might feel that you've concluded what you set out to do 2 years ago, and now preparing to actually launch it up to a new level, okay, new cycle. Also, what we have simultaneously nearly taking place is Venus's journey there in the 9th house. Venus takes 1 year to complete a cycle. So we're back again here where we were last autumn, and it's going to be meeting up with Saturn, which is your mastery. Saturn is always what gives us lessons, how we grow and expand. And so you've been expanding your consciousness, which is, you know, the 9th house is all about consciousness. And Venus here would want to start off something with its creativity. That's the expression of Venus. Just like Mars is action and goals, Venus is what you love. Of course, it rules love and romance, but it also rules money. It rules your artistic capabilities, your artistic expression. So there might be something coming together here, which we're going to see on November 12th. So it's very close to that Mars-Pluto conjunction. Then we've got Venus-Saturn. So something is going to come in to not just gel, but also secure, which Saturn is going to make sure it will. So listen to your partner's horoscope too this month, just to see where all of this is taking place, you know, for him or her, because all of this is for all of us. These are our general aspects. It's not necessarily what's in your personal natal chart, your birth chart. Of course, these planets are transits. They will kind of line up with what you have going on in your own transit chart. But this is exciting, and it's like now here in October, Mercury was working here for an extended time in your 8th house. If you haven't listened to the Mercury retrograde for October yet, and you're listening to this forecast on the October end of this November reading, right up here on the top icon, you can go click on playlists there. You will find a dedicated video that speaks just about this Mercury retrograde, because it's essential. This is where you're spending your energy to refine, retweak your inner values, not the values as far as money that you make on a monthly basis, but it's looking at resources that you can have shared with somebody, commissions, royalties, bonuses, or payoffs here within some investment papers. It could be bankers, it could also be taxes. So that's what October is about. But here, as we start off the month, Mercury is moving forward. It's 19 degrees, November 1st, so it will still have a little time there to kind of catch up, move forward, and then meet up with the Sun, Venus, and Saturn in that 9th house. So you're going to see how you're going to be leaving that behind, closing that chapter, and then opening up. And Mercury is going to communicate beautifully upon these new goals, these new projects that you have lined up. Mercury is always about what we communicate, how we communicate it, and having it there with both the Sun and Venus, well, it's going to be somewhat passionate. You know, it's your convictions are going to come across with a lot of confidence. So let's start talking about the moons. First, we have the full moon November 6th. This is for you going to be falling into your 3rd house. 3rd house is travel. It's also communication and how you interrelate with the neighborhood around you, your neighbors, the closer community, not the far-fetched community like 9th house is more out of state, out of country. And so here something's going to be illuminated, especially those things that have to do also with written papers, documents, and so forth. There could also be good news coming to you from one or more of your siblings. 3rd house rules siblings as well. The new moon, where we always place our intentions, this month will fall on November 22nd. Now, depending on where you live in the world, some of you will have it here in your 9th house, some of you will have it in your 10th house, because it's right there on the cusp between these two signs, between Scorpio and Sagittarius. If for you it falls in the 9th house, your intentions should all be about wanting to expand your consciousness, your spirituality, and the 10th house is career. So I feel for most of you it's going to be a blend of both. The 10th house is stipulating that you really want to focus on career for not just this month, but it's going to be a whole year before you get the chance to do it again. So however you focus and envision now is what's going to carry you to the next new moon in this area, which will be next year. So let's start off top of the month here, Pisces, for you. We have 3 beautiful aspects. We got Mercury, communication, what and how you communicate. That's in that 8th house, okay? So it's the resources that you hold is going to be expressed in a Jupiterian way. Jupiter is always expansive, it's enthusiastic. Jupiter for you is in the 6th house. So I feel what that is for you is you're going to be expanding your day-to-day routines in the way that you're going to be working. You might also be very busy here to make plans for how you're going to be changing your daily to-do lists so you can be more efficient. Some of you might even be thinking about moving, because there could be some movement here whenever Jupiter is connected this way, but not necessarily. We also have Venus and Pluto sextile on the same day. This is between your 9th and your 11th house. So between the concepts, your projects, what it is you're wanting to speak and share, what you're voicing to groups is going to be powerful November 1st. Also, we have Mars, your drive, your dedication, your passion, your goals, is also sextiling Neptune. Now, Mars is in that 11th house for groups and organizations, your social networks, now tying into how Neptune is showing you up here, because Neptune's in that first house. You know, it's your rising sign. So you're going to be coming out with something, I feel, that might either be a spiritual connection, but it could also be an artistic expression, where Neptune is going to want to filter out. So you have a powerful start at the head of the month. Now, what's interesting is we got Pluto coming into essential points this month, and Pluto's all transformation. Now, we just had Venus playing off on Pluto, but here November 3rd, we got the Sun. The Sun is you. That's your essence. Being in that 9th house, it is going to be sextiling Pluto in the 11th. So once again, we got the 9th and the 11th. So whatever it is you're doing here, you're kickstarting something that now is going to transform pretty much where and how you work. We have on the 10th that Mars-Pluto conjuncting, you know, when they meet up. And Mars is going to kick into action. You'll know exactly what you started there in the beginning of the month is now coming together. I feel it's like a golden key opening up a new door. There's some excitement here. There's confidence. It's a day full of energies running high. Lots of passion here on the 10th. Also on the 11th, where Pluto and Mars are still active, Mercury is trining with Neptune. So this is going to be here between the 9th and the 1st house. So it's your communication about these hopes, dreams, wishes, this Neptunian energy in your 1st house, where you're going to be expressing this more creative side of your nature. So you're feeling pleased with how things have just felt together. And if I didn't mention that, it could have been on the last video I made here. But all the planets now are moving forward, as opposed to from New Year's onwards. We've always had some planets, more than one at a time, going retrograde, stalling, delaying, but all for a reason though. But things were moving more slowly, and it was challenged because we had hard aspects too here in 2014. But now they're all moving forward, with the exception of Neptune. But even Neptune now turning direct November 16th. And that will allow that spirituality, that flow, that higher, shall I say, your higher self channeling through on the 16th to also be on the forward march. So between now and the end of the year, we're going to see a speed up of events. And so Mercury and Neptune on the 11th, you're feeling it. You're really feeling how Neptune now is ready to open up and give to you. On the 12th, well, these other planets are still tightly aspected. We have Venus. Love, hopes, dreams, money, all those things you're passionate about is going to connect with Saturn in that 9th house in a conjunction. So Venus takes 1 year around the scope once. So it was here last year too, that initiated something. Now you're ready for a new initiation. The conjunctions always initiate new beginnings, and it's going to lock something in. Again, it's your 9th house. It's your convictions, what you believe, what you see, what you want to express to the world at large. Somehow maybe foreign people or places can come into play and be supportive as well. And you're so antsy because Mars is square Uranus, and Uranus is helping us to break away from the old form and get into a new direction. Mars is always direction. So you're breaking free, breaking loose, but doing good. This is something you want to do, not necessarily something that's just going to fall upon you. This is you now shedding. Now, on the 16th, Mercury and Pluto, there's a communication here that's looking at what you are transforming. So whatever communication or talks you're having with somebody, maybe in a superior place, will prove good. And on the 17th, Venus is moving out of Scorpio, out of that 9th house where it's been working now, into your career house, moving into Sagittarius. So this is really now here when you're going to start seeing the benefits or the fruits of what it is you've been working for, because now it's going to shine and radiate and become very visible, not just to you or your superiors, you know, your higher ups, but also to the world at large, because now you're actually doing. It's out there, it's public. The 10th house is always a public house. So from the 17th onwards, here on the 18th already, the Sun is going to conjunct Saturn, which is locking in that new foundation. We already had Saturn visited here by Venus. We had it visited by Mercury. Now the Sun is there, so you've had 3 new initiations here on Saturn, which is your mastership. It's the lessons we learn from Saturn. It's all about the roots that we put down. It's the master teacher, which is, you know, you and your higher self. So it's coming together here, and I think you might be a little wowed by November, but you so deserve it, Pisces, because through all of these delays and setbacks, you've still been pushing forward, but it's felt like it's been pushing, you know, a boulder uphill. But now you're not just plateauing, but you're actually going to be able to start seeing an avalanche, the effect of all that hard work that you've been doing. So on the 21st and to the 30th, there we have Mercury is going to be touching upon several planets. First Mars, then Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. And Mercury is how we think, how we communicate. So you're going to be active here with talks towards the end of the month. And that first one kicking in is November 21st, when Mars and Saturn are sextile. So I see you being energetic. I see you being behind your projects, being behind your concepts, relating this, busy bringing it out. November 25th, Mercury and Saturn here are conjunct. So they're giving each other a kiss where you're feeling that you're grounding and rooting, giving that new foundation on the 25th. So once a year we have that aspect too. So that's also initiating new beginnings. On the 30th we have Mercury and Neptune coming into play, and this is where you're looking to this month, looking back over what has just happened these recent weeks, and you're trying to get an overview on how well you've done. And I'm seeing how you're like wowed by it all. When we're in a square, we might also open up for a little bit doubts or self-adjustment. But really there's not much to doubt, because if you did the work that you actually were given the potential on earlier in the month, there is no reason to doubt. Then it's more that you're looking more to how much more can I now expand with this newness. So I'm really excited for you. We have, I think I mentioned earlier, yes, the full and the new moons. We don't have to go through that. But hey, listen, Pisces, fantastic month. I can't wait to speak to you in December just to see now what's coming in behind all of this. But listen to your moon, your rising sign, and I will see you in December. Bye now.